You've probably never heard of the Clinker family. They lived in Holland many, many years ago. That's their little house right under the windmill. In fact, windmills are Papa Clinker's specialty. He repairs them. But not very well.
Papa, the windmill just fell down.
Is it still turning around?
Yeah, but it's turning around on the ground.
Who cares so long as it's still turning?
Papa and Mama Clinker had two lovely children, a girl with blonde hair and blue eyes, and a little boy with blue hair and blonde eyes. The girl's name was Brunhilde, which in Dutch means she who steps on tulips. The little boy, oddly enough, had no name at all, until one day...
Brunhilde! Yeah, Mama? Go wash your hands.
Brunhilde promptly dunked her brother in the washtub, and that's how Hans Clinker got his name.
Hans, today you are 3 years old, and it's time you got a job.
Okay, mein Papa. I will deliver papers.
Unfortunately, the papers Hans delivered belonged to his father, and they were of the legal variety, such as mortgage on the house, insurance policies, liberty bonds.
Hans, baby, this morning you was 3 years old, and I think already it's time you change jobs.
So, little Hans went to work down at the waterfront.
Yeah, that's right, little boy. All you gotta do is keep your finger stuck in the hole in the dam.
But why, sir?
Well, if there is no finger in the dam, the water will pour through and flood the country.
A job as a dam plugger didn't pay very much, but you did go home with a very clean finger. But alas, a tourist came by seeking the whereabouts of the nearest Travelers' Aid Society. Hans pointed.
Hans, this morning you was 3 years old and you got your first job. This afternoon you was 3 years old and you changed jobs. Tonight you are still 3 years old and you're going into retirement.
But mein Papa, I am too young to be idle.
The boy is right, Papa. He needs a vacation.
Vocation, Mama.
All right already. What would you like to do, Hans?
I want to be a tubaphone player.
And what's a tubaphone?
It's a tuba with a phone inside it. Listen.
The sounds that filled the air had a strange, soothing effect, not only on Papa, Mama, and Brunhilde, but also on the cows and the chickens. Hans Clinker was a born musician.
Of course, I could only play a few notes. But if I could study at the Amsterdam Conservatory of Music...
How much would that cost?
50 million klunkels.
That astronomical figure caused Papa Clinker to take a fast nap in the center of the living room.
Why doesn't Hans try and win 50 million klunkels in the Zuiderzee skating contest?
Yes, once each year, the icy blasts of winter transformed the Zuiderzee into a sheet of ice. Youngsters from all over the Netherlands put on their skates and entered the big race, a race which netted the victor 50 million klunkels.
Good luck, Hans. You can win, Hans.
Oh, it grieves me sorely to relate that Hans Clinker finished dead last. This was due to two things. One, he lacked the speed of most Dutch boys his age, and two, he lacked a pair of skates.
Don't worry, Hans, Pupchen, there's always next year.
But again, it was the same story. Last in a field of 3,000.
I don't understand it, Papa. Even with a new pair of skates, I couldn't win.
Perhaps if you was to wear them on your feet instead of your elbows.
Hans tried that the following year, and it did help a little. He came in next to last, barely beating out an octogenarian who had fallen through a hole in the ice.
It's no use. I never got to study at the Amsterdam Conservatory.
And off he trudged into the snow-covered forest. Winter turned to spring, spring turned to summer, and still Hans walked.
I am worried about our boy, Papa.
Which boy is that, Mama?
You know, Hans.
Oh, yeah, Hans. Whatever happened to him?
What happened to him was this. Hans walked right out of Holland into Denmark. Now, you've all heard the saying, something is rotten in Denmark? Well, the something that was rotten was an old castle that had been sitting on top of a hill for centuries and centuries. And inside, there was a sleeping giant. And just above the giant hung a pair of skates.
Why, there are silver skates. If I had those skates, I know I could win the Zuiderzee race.
Ah, but how do you make off with a pair of skates that are guarded by a sleeping giant?
This is how.
Seconds later, Hans and the skates were on their way back to Holland. Well, all fairy tales have happy endings, and this one is no exception. Hans and the silver-plated skates won the next Zuiderzee race, and with the 50 million klunkels, Hans entered the Amsterdam Conservatory of Music, where he played tubaphone in the symphony orchestra. And oh, how grand the conductor led his musicians. Although he did hit a clinker every once in a while.